Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Okay, and now here I am because like I told you in my last video, there were a couple of upcoming Disney movies that I wanted to get my thoughts on. One of them was the upcoming Christopher Robin movie, which I did in my last video. I talked about that and how I felt about that after watching the trailer. Now I'm going to get my thoughts on how I feel about the other movie that I was talking about, and that's the Mary Poppins sequel, Mary Poppins Returns. So, yeah, I'm actually surprised that they're doing this, kinda. I mean, considering how long it's been since the first Mary Poppins movie, I'm surprised that they're actually doing a sequel to it. And, yeah, this movie is coming out on Christmas Day this year. And so, as far as how I feel about this movie being made, quite honestly, I don't like it. I mean, you've heard what I have said about all these new Star Wars movies being made. I mean, especially with this new sequel trilogy with Force Awakens and Last Jedi, and then the next movie. You've heard this trilogy and stuff, and considering how it's been over 30 years since Return of the Jedi, and so yeah, if I have really flipped out about that, you can bet that I am going to flip out over a sequel being made to a film that was from over 50 years ago. I mean, yeah, there's really two main reasons why I really don't like this film in being made. The first reason is really because, I mean, it makes no sense to do this now. I mean, like I just said, it has been over 50 years since the release of the first Mary Poppins. The first Mary Poppins was released back in 1964, and now it is 2018. That's like, what, 54 years? I mean, seriously, it's taken them this long to do a sequel to Mary Poppins? I mean, come on. I mean, this is like way too late to be making a sequel to Mary Poppins. I mean, seriously, I mean, especially, I mean, why would you make a sequel over 50 years later? I mean, it's just, it just doesn't make any sense at all. Why you would make a sequel this late after the original movie? It doesn't make any sense. And so the premise of this film is basically like Jane and Michael are now grown up, and yeah, I'll put the trailer in the description if you want to watch it. Yeah, this trailer really doesn't show much. I mean, it's mostly this trailer is just like it shows that the wind is blowing the kite from the first movie off, and then it ends up flying into the sky, and then Mary Poppins, who's played by Emily Blunt in this film, comes flying down. And so, yeah. Yeah, that's really all this movie has. And yeah, at the end it just shows how Jane and Michael are grown up and are happy to see Mary Poppins again. And yeah, it just shows Mary Poppins is still magical and stuff. And just, yeah, and even with these new actors, I really don't even see the same characters at all. I mean, yeah, because I mean, for one thing, everyone in this film is basically, of course, recast. I mean, yeah, of course, the original actors are now far too old for this. This, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, 50 plus years since the first one. Yeah, yeah. So of course, there's no Julie Andrews, Dick Van Dyke. I mean, well, Dick Van Dyke, he's actually he's listed in the cast. He's gonna be in this film as Dawes Jr., so he'll be playing Dawes Jr. in this as far as it shows. Yeah, but yeah, all of course the rest of the cast from the first movie, of course, isn't in this film at all. Every basically the entire cast is different. Yeah, you have Emily Blunt as Mary Poppins. You have Ben Whishaw and Emily Mortimer as Jane and Michael. And so, yeah, I mean, just why are they doing a sequel this late? I mean, they should have done if they wanted to do a sequel to Mary Poppins, they should have done it long ago, okay? Because, I mean, the first Mary Poppins, it was set around in 1910 or something. Yeah, and then this film is set in the 1930s, so it's basically 20 years after. I mean, And if they wanted to do a sequel, couldn't they have done it like much sooner, like a lot like sooner than now? I mean, they could have done it like just a few years after the release of the first movie, where they could have gotten like the entire cast back, or maybe not really like a few years after, but yeah, maybe like 10 years after the first movie he was made, and then yeah, they could have done it again, done a sequel, and got like the original cast back for this. But no, they never didn't do another sequel. Well, during the time they should have done it if they wanted to do one. And now it's just like, it doesn't make any sense to do any sequel this late after. I mean, 50 plus years, it makes no sense. It's way too late to do a sequel. Just why are they doing this? I mean, there were like a lot of other classic Disney films that really did have sequels done much sooner. I mean, Old Yeller had like the Savage Sam sequel that was released like probably just I think like a few years after Old Yeller. And then Davy Crockett, that had a sequel with Davy Crockett and the River Pirates, and The Love Bug had sequels done. So yeah, a lot of the classic Disney films did have sequels done in the time that it made sense to do them. But this, it makes no sense doing a sequel 50 plus years after the events of the first film. Now, I know that they probably couldn't have gotten like all of the original cast back for a sequel if they wanted to do one like recent, like when they should have done it, because yeah, like there were like the actor who played Michael in the first Mary Poppins, he like ended up like dying when he was just 21, so they probably would have had to recast him. But everyone else they could have probably like gotten back. And yeah, they have like quite the bit of recurring characters in this film. There's of course Mary Poppins and Jane and Michael. There's also Ellen, who was the housekeeper, and they also have Admiral Broom, he's back, and of course Mr. Dawes Jr. So I do have a lot of recurring characters, but just like with all of this new cast, I really just don't. I can't even see the same characters in it. So yeah, I just really don't even see like Mary Poppins, Jane, and Michael, and yeah, I just really don't see the same characters in with this new cast. I mean, it doesn't even feel like a Mary Poppins sequel, honestly. Yeah, and especially like with Emily Blunt as Mary Poppins. I mean, it just really doesn't feel like I'm watching the same Mary Poppins. It just feels like I'm watching somebody like impersonating Mary Poppins or something. I just really don't like it at all. And it really just, I don't like this new cast, and it just really doesn't make a lot of, it doesn't make any sense for them doing a sequel this late after the original film. So, yeah. And the second reason why I do not like this film being made is because this is quite honestly really disrespectful to P.L. Travers, who was the author of Mary Pop, the original book. Now, of course, like if you've watched Saving Mr. Banks, Hank's like like kind of like the story, where you like the development of the movie. Yeah, so yeah, of course, like if you know the true story of this, you know that this movie had like several elements that P.L. Travers did not approve of in for this. Like there was like the animation for this film that P.L. Travers didn't like, and just it had like quite the bit of things that uh, P.L. Travers really did not approve of. And because like this film did have that, she like ended up like forbidding any other of the Mary Poppins books to have film adaptations. And I just feel that this is really disrespectful to her wishes, because P.L. Travers isn't alive anymore. So it feels like they're just like really disrespecting her and just now going about like against her wishes, and just thinking that because she's dead now they can do anything they want. And that, to me, that just comes across as really disrespectful to her. I mean, they should actually be respecting her wishes, and they should have actually just like the first Mary Poppins is fine just how it is, and really no sequels were really needed to it. And the fact that they were doing it is just to me that's just really disrespectful to her. I mean, I'm not really sure like I really don't know how many Mary Poppins books there were. I don't know if like the story that this film has as actually one a story in one another one of the Mary Poppins books, or if Disney's actually just being smartasses about this and just like saying that trying to come up with their own Mary Poppins sequel story and just trying to really just be smartasses and disrespect Beale Travers by really not doing a film adaptation that is of one of her books, but is rather their own story, and they're just trying to say, being smartasses about it, saying that nothing can happen to them because it's not actually based on one of the books. So, yeah, regardless of which way they're going with that, it just is really disrespectful, like full that they are really doing another Mary Poppins film and really just like really just spitting on Peel Travers' grave basically, and just like totally degrading her wishes like that. So it just really comes across really as disrespectful to me, and yeah, yeah, I just really don't think that Disney is really going down a good route now. I mean, I really do think that is really like Disney is really becoming like quite the. I really don't know what word I should really use for it. I don't know if I should really use like sellouts or just corporate cash grabbers or what, but yeah, they're just like becoming pretty disrespectful now. I mean, it just seems that they're really changing for the worst, really. It looks like they're just trying to do whatever they can for money now. Hell, and so yeah, I just really don't know what else to say. It just really just seems like Disney is just becoming corporate sellouts, and this is what they're doing because making like unneeded sequels like this, and of course like what I've talked about before with all of these live action remakes of their animated classics, and just yeah, Disney has just become really money grubbing over the last few years, and it's really becoming sad. I mean, I really miss like the Disney that I grew up with, where Disney like had loads of originality and creativity put onto their projects. And now it's just like they are not doing that anymore. They're just becoming lazy by making unneeded remakes, unneeded sequels. Just yeah, Disney's just really becoming all about money now instead of actually creativity and caring about entertaining people and making enjoyable films. So yeah, this is just really kind of sad on Disney's part. And personally, I really don't like what they're doing, and I really do not like that they're making this film just because it doesn't make sense. Like I talked about, it doesn't make sense for them to do it this late after the first film, and it's just disrespectful to P.L. Travers because she forbid any further adaptations of her books. So yeah, that's just really my gripes with it. It just really comes across as really disrespectful and just a cash grab really to me. So yeah, I mean, I really don't know what to expect with this film. It may be good. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I really don't know. Like the director for this film is Rob Marshall, and I'm really not sure like what he has really. Yeah, I'm not sure like what his directorial talent is, and yeah, I just really don't know really what to expect with this film. I guess like I really don't know. I mean, you guys can let me know your thoughts on the film, but personally, I just really don't like the fact that it's being made. So, yeah, that's really just my take on it. I mean, yeah, I know I've been kind of like repeating myself a lot, but it just is kind of hard to not because, I mean, it just really does seem like very, very disrespectful, and I just really don't know, like, why Disney would really do something like this. So I mean, I guess it's just because like Mary Poppins is like one of their biggest films. I mean, you remember like last year I did place it at number 2 on my top 10 live-action Disney films list, and yeah, I have said that Mary Poppins really is a masterpiece and one of Disney's best works of all time. So, you know, I don't know if like this is just their way of like trying to reintroduce Mary Poppins to a younger generation or what. But if they're trying to do that, they should just re-release the original film, not make a sequel, because it just yeah, I've already said it enough. So, yeah, I guess I just should pretty much stop right here because if I, I'm just gonna sound like really a broken record if I just keep on going because I'm just pretty much really gonna just basically say the same thing over and over. So yeah, this is just my take on it. So yeah, you can let me know how you feel about it, but personally, I'm not a fan of this film being made. So the trailer will be down in the description for you to watch, even though there's not a whole lot really to this trailer. But yeah, you can watch it if you want, and yeah, let me know your take on it. So, alright, so that really is all I have to say about the Mary Poppins sequel. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed what I had to say about it. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.